It's our last lecture before you go.
Yes. Today they are not coming.
There's a Shirati years.
Around here.
It's not.
That those ones are on internet. Also, they are busy with just on the internet. So have you been online?
Online.
Have you been able to check that I put the notes up lecture file?
For electronics?
Yes.
No.
So I have put under notes, which is under course study materials 2024. So when you go under notes, we previously were only having lecture 1. Lecture 1, which goes with the temperature transducers, radiation, is it radiation or radiative?
Radiation
Common transducers up to the 6 segment. So the 7 segment. Up the 7 segment, all those units were there. So I put lecture 2. And lecture 2 is the capacity. Yes. Then lecture 3. I want to be sure of what they are exactly. Lecture 2, yes, is capacitive transducers. Lecture 3 is inductive transducers. No, resistive. This is resistive transducers. Then lecture 4 we have the inductive transducers. Inductive transducers. Then lecture 5 is the communication system. Once you have done this, then you will be ready to tackle the amplitude propagation elements of the communication system. Elements of the communication system. So where were you people? Today I was now happy that I'm going to teach this Islam Fred. Because they had told me that you went all the way, so I thought you were busy in your hostel sleeping. And the rain will not make you to come. You want me to apologize also that I think you are sleeping when you're supposed to be studying? So again, another apology that I haven't marked your test. Are you anxious to see your mark?
Yes.
If you're pictures for Max, I will make sure I post them before I leave. But I would have been happy if I bring the scripts and then you know your marks, you have your script, you complain if I undermark you and then the third chapter is lost. But I suffered with these notes here. To scan them, I scan them. Now to put them together as a PDF was a hassle. But finally I got the trick and then I was able to separate them into lectures. They are not as per the way we had lectures, but the way these are distance education materials which had been prepared by our colleagues here. So they are prepared in form of a lecture whereby each lecture starts with some introduction, the objectives, then ends with questions. So it's like they are easy for self-study. So before you came, I was saying that lecture 1 was already there, which was about radiation transducers, just to confirm. So here, this was radiation transducers. These ones, we spent some good time on them. We looked at a couple of them and the properties and why they behave the way they behave. Then we went to the capacity, that's where we were last time. Resistive, did I talk about resistive? No. And then inductive, I'm going to summarize inductive and then talk about the communication system today. So today we are stopping at 7. And then when I'm not here, you should be able to watch the videos also. The videos also are also there, I think. And these 2 lectures here for capacitive and inductive transducers, those 2 lectures, I mean those 2 videos are well viewed. I don't know how and why they like them so much. When I was trying to watch them to review, to remind myself, I think the reason is that I was enthusiastic when I was covering them. Do you have any particular question on the work before which we covered last time? There are no questions? No.
My question is not in the work.
It's not electronics. It's okay, you ask.
But why is it that your PDFs are not printed?
Which course? This course or the other course? They don't print.
You don't know them, but they ask the password.
Which one? I know.
Green.
Yes?
Green.
No, because you can print. But here was the challenge before COVID. The challenge was that because I was doing it as an additional thing that is not compulsory, students will always refuse to go to Mwele. And those who would want to go there, they would now want to come in class and sit like this. Sometimes sit like Shirat, be on the floor, pretend to be on Mwele, with the hope of printing the notes and then revise later. So what I used to do was to make them unprintable and even make them available after I have taught. But you realize, like electricity and magnetism, I made the whole course visible. And now, electronics, it was visible throughout. Even now, almost everything was visible, only that, like electromagnetism, everything is there. The problem is the things were not in the order I was teaching them. 2, I am making everything available. Every time I teach, I upload the video which I have taught, and then the notes also I make them easy. But if you find that you need a password, don't worry. The password was, by then was PHY 2105. That was the name of the course. So they can, when you put a password, the printing becomes active. So that's how when COVID came, everything changed. I couldn't help it but to let people, you know, if now kids can be given a link in an exam. I saw the physics paper. Can you get a signal to an oscilloscope from a speaker?
No?
You have been playing at this with an oscilloscope. Can you get a signal? Can you get this waveform on an oscilloscope using a speaker? You are in trouble. Someone gave me the physics exam, paper 1. You know, have you seen it? They are only 2 papers. They now have paper 1, which is theory, and then the paper 2 I think will be practical. So there are no more 3 papers. But what kind of children are going to produce? The questions, I said it yesterday, is it yesterday? The questions we have been asking students, we get them from Benon. We get them from Abbott and other O-level UK-based books, which are textbooks. They are done by UK people. Griffith, which I teach you from, Griffith is an American. He's a professor at an American university. Those questions he asks he's the one who says we attack a problem, but this is America. And now here how this fella sets a question for all level. I'm sorry, I'm going to take your time for no good reason really. You don't need to beat around the bush in an exam. If you want me to calculate called half-life, what do they call it, the decay time or whatever it's called. You tell me to calculate it, but you don't tell me a patient came, then was put in a room, then isolated, then relatives, okay. So, at the item 1, I don't even know, but now at least they have improved it is item 1. So item 1, in my classroom activity, senior 3 students of your school, but I was in S3 last year. Why are you telling me S3 students of my school? Why don't you say when you were in S3? You understand? You are telling me it's like they are falling, it's like they are aliens, they are not part of the school. I was in S3. So, in the classroom activities, senior 3 students from your school are presented with photographs. Why, you ask, why is the rainbow round? So I like the one of a patient. A question is like an essay. A patient has been taken by relatives to a hospital, complaining of severe pain in the neck. So does having severe pain in the neck mean that you have cancer? I could have carried the things.
Yes. Awful.
No, they would have boxed me. I don't know who said these things. If it is any of my colleagues, we shall fight.
Yeah, education.
Education. you went there and said, yeah, you sent a paper. This is why they make you dance nowadays, to sing and dance. No, but I'm going to fight again. This is where I didn't like this. Well, some regions in Uganda are affected by changes in seasons. None of you people in Uganda know that it is the moon which makes it rain. There is full moon. And if you tune in, if you go online, this rain is everywhere in the world now. Every part of the world which has a water base, it is now raining. If you have friends in the other countries, you ask, what is the weather? If you have a friend in America, if you have another Kadama, you ask, well, in their place it may not be raining because of being a desert. But ask people, if you have people in Sakata, ask them, it is now raining. Or maybe it rained a couple of hours ago. But that's not my point. My point is, here is the lie. In November 2022, the government launched a satellite into the low Earth orbit through support of the International Space Station. We did not launch that rocket. Yes, it was launched. Uganda did not launch. Students were taken to learn how to do science, like the one went to Europe, by Japanese. And then the Zimbabweans and we here made a 1-meter tube satellite, which was now launched on the satellite, a rocket going to the International Space Station. From the International Space Station is when it was taken in the orbit. We were never told when it was put in an orbit. And it was not meant for anything for Uganda. It was just a test thing for engineers to know, for students to know. Like what I tell you, a sensor is put on the robot, you can add a camera, you can do whatever. And then some says, a number of people criticized the move by government to launch a satellite into space, claiming that the satellite will not solve problems of farming in Uganda. That satellite had nothing to do with anything. It was not going to take any satellite images that we are going to use. It just had the capabilities of what a satellite should have. This is a lie. You teach our children to lie. Your sister lives home. This is not the way they ask. If you want to ask about temperature, how a flask works, you ask how a flask works. You say, explain how a flask works. What if I don't have a sister? Actually, when you say your sister, for us we are boys, you say your sister, I don't have a sister. Don't ask me. I may be missing a chance of having, if we had a sister, I think she should have been very cute. But we don't have, and you're saying your sister, which one? The question should be neutral. You are teachers. When you are doing assessment, the question should be neutral. You are saying your dad, me I'm an orphan, and then you are saying your dad. That question is theoretical. I don't have a dad. Being an orphan is even better. You tested the dad, you are going to be a bastard. You don't know my dad. And you are saying your dad. Your dad brings chocolate, then how I've never eaten chocolate from my dad. You are talking about chocolate. So never said the question that people will say this is the first step. Improvements will come. But me, I don't want. They should stop it. We'll go back. Now the school scouts are, I think, are for Catholics, isn't it? Or Protestants. Protestants, I think, are more comfortable with boys' brigade. Which one takes boys' brigade on scout? Both of them are there. Both of them. They are scouts and girls scouts, and then they are boys' brigade. Girls Brigade. Those two, I think, were related to the religion. Then the other one is your friend the carpenter. How? How do I have a friend who's a carpenter? People who are in Kololo, where do they find the carpenter? Your friend carpenter. None of these kids in Vienna, do they have friends who are carpenters? They are just in they sleep in fences. And then these people will help us to launch another Serbian space. Good luck. No, I am not jealous of people who said the question. I'm not uncomfortable if they said the question. I'm unhappy that no teacher is complaining because it is exciting. You just tell students, go and prepare about the Newton's laws. Then the teacher pockets, goes to the staff room, takes some tea. Then the kids also go, they say, where is the computer? There is no computer with the internet in the laboratory. Library. There is always only a medical. Let's talk about it. Then they talk about it. After talking about it, they come, group one. So one stubborn boy comes there. Then one nice girl starts rolling her eyes. After the session, the teacher gives 2.1, 1.0. Then the only one assessment of 20% is done. I'm happy that the kids who came to check on me, I explained to them how a DC generator and AC generator works and a motor. And that motor was broke. In a funny way, this carpenter friend is using an electric drill to put nails in the whatever in wood. How many people have seen an electric drill which puts nails in whatever? We use hammer. Am I confused or you are also frustrated like me? So they cannot fail to buy me apparatus here. And then they refuse to buy apparatus for schools, and then they dodge and make students to start collecting stuff that they are making projects. You collect aluminum foils, then that you want to make a concentrator for solar, so that you do solar cooking. Instead of bringing an oscilloscope and you do an experiment which is reasonable. I think government has a way of dodging their responsibility. Give them freedom, let them do them rubbish work. If the government doesn't want to buy your apparatus here, look at your lab. Okay, so those of you who came late, these are the lectures which I have uploaded. When you go under the course study materials and then the part of notes. Now there is lecture 1. In addition to lecture 1 we had, there is lecture 2. Maybe I will add the description of what is under these lectures. And then once you click on it, the notes come up to lecture 5. So lecture 2 is capacitive transducers. Lecture 3 is resistive transducers. Lecture 4 is inductive transducers, and then lecture 5 is elements of the communication system. And before maybe I go ahead, you can see that this rain is special. The rain of these phases. It rains heavily and consistently, and for some good time, because it would have corrected enough. This other one, which comes because probably there was but all rain is almost like this. And in the world, I'm the only one who knows it. I'm not bragging. There's nobody else who knows it. And I don't need the weather forecast. In the morning, it was shining. I think I just went to the lecture. I took a video of the that splashing of the water. And now here it is coming back. producers. So we stopped at the integrating the deflection bridge in order to use as part of the thread. How did you call it? That gadget in Geo? The gravimeter. Yeah, so we include a deflection bridge, and what was our last statement? The relationship between linear and x is linear and independent of some of the source frequency. Is that it?
Yes.
And then I stopped that. Oh, I tried to introduce the number, the fourth, is it the fourth or? Yes, the fourth. The first one was a parallel plate, and then we had the three variables for the plate separation area and dielectric, permittivity for dielectric properties, and then we had the one which is the pressure sensor, the displacement, and now we look at the one which is used in a fuel tank. Number 4, capacitive level. Capacitive level sensor. Where do I put the data? Here or here? Brad, the what? Somewhere I wish to put. So the concept of this sensor is that if I got the if I can use these papers, so you have I wish these papers were transparent, and I would love to know who said this paper. So if we have our cylindrical capacitor laid above the two cylinders, for example, and then these two cylinders are coaxial since they share an axis. So I'm trying to see whether I can make a so I have, do you see this way now when I show you because I folded it a bit. So inside here is where the fuel will fill up these spaces. So with these two coaxial cylinders, so if you had a tank, the main tank is somewhere, but also there is this small tank, which is a cylindrical capacitor. That now the fuel, when the fuel is, whether it is in the sidelines of the tank, wherever you put it, some fuel you can put it. So this is the fuel, the liquid in the liquid level in this capacitor, this part of the capacitor, this side here. Then you will be having capacitance here and another capacitance. So this is capacitance without capacitance with the dielectric. Now which dielectric is there? Fluid or liquid. So if it is empty, you will have a certain capacity of the capacitor without the dielectric. When it starts filling up, when you put some fuel, whichever level it is, then it will give you now a new capacitance that is correlating with the amount of fuel that has been put. And that's how a fuel gauge works. And it is not linear, that you know if it is 1 centimeter, if it is the fuel gauge is not a linear thing. You just have, it's a linear approximate. You can't say I have 5 liters or this, but you see here, and then you have your pointer. When it goes here, this big empty, this will be full. And when it goes deep here empty, and you drive for some time and the light comes on, then you know you have 5 liters left. So it's up to you to make sure that you drive in a way that this fuel, these 5 liters are able to be injected to the engine. If you are on a hill and the engine, the fuel is going away from the pipe which is taking in the engine, you get stuck. That's why some people will shake the vehicle, swerve a bit, then you see the light going away, then you drive comfortably. Then when you are trying to climb somewhere, it comes up. Then you know. So if it comes up consistently, whether you do like this, then you know you are now in a danger zone. You calculate to find out how much distance you can take. Your vehicle normally is able to consume these 5 liters. So we have our this fluid. I'm sure many places are going to be flooded. Isn't it now an hour when it's raining? This should have been dotted, but you don't need to worry. This should have been dotted. The inside one should have been dotted. So we have the meniscus of the liquid in between here and outside here. Okay, so we have the coaxial cylinder, metal cylinder, coaxial capacitor with the made up of coaxial cylinders, cylindrical capacitor made up of coaxial metallic cylinders. This is the axis, and the radius of this inner cylinder is L, small. The one of the outer cylinder, this big one, from the axis to the outer one, which is B. The length of the cylinder is L, of the cylinders is L. The height of the liquid is H, so that's why it is being measured from here, the base of this cylinder here, this line here. Why we are measuring H from which points. So we can say a couple of things about this. Two coaxial metal cylinders of radius A and B. Two coaxial cylinders of radiuses A and B, where the large one has a radius B, are dipped in the liquid, are dipped in the liquid as shown in the figure, in the previous figure. If it is above, in your notes, you say above. Mine is on the left-hand side of the board. The reason the way I teach you flexibly, the flexible way is the way they are posing that they are improving the curriculum. You cannot organize physics. Physics is universal. You just calculate temperature, that's it. Whether it is in Chinese, whether it is in Latin, that's not an issue. Whether it is a sister or a dad or a mom who carried the first, it doesn't matter. And when you reach school, please tell before I tell them that it is not competence-based. This is a lie. This is a lie. It is Lana Senate. And this is where I have a problem. I was looking after boats. How do you send out me? What will I help you? All I knew was running after boats in the evening. I see them bulging, their bellies walk home. So what competence do I have to contribute to the class? But the son of a minister in Tinda, minister's village, who is on a tablet, who is watching National Geographic, watching Animal Planet, there's another one, Discovery Channel. This kid is informed. He sees robotics challenges. He sees what? So he has some competence. He can contribute in class. He can argue with the teacher. Me, the other day was negative. And then I come to school. Even I'm not sure whether they're not going to chase me for fees. And you are saying competence-based. Don't call it Lana Senate. But still, Lana Senate is a problem. If the Lana is the center of the learning, what is he giving? can come up. Do you want to tell me this? Do you want to tell me that the colonialists who built this building of physics were malicious? Or were bad people? Look at it from the entrance, from the outside, the outlook, it looks like a plane. The other ones are engines. This round thing there, the round thing there, this is the front, those are front wings, these are the back part. It is facing the other side. You go to Google Earth and figure it out. I will post it on where is what you see that it is a plane. Look at this. Here the new chalk has to be here, the duster, where they can clean with water and it remains clean. This is for purposes of, and then you tell me these people didn't like us? You look at the size of our wall. They built it to last forever. This building is 1952. The bracket is at the entrance. And then they gave us their curriculum to learn what they learned. We use the American, we use McKean, we use Abbott. They said it is colonial. They were teaching us to be secretaries. What do you learn to be secretary in Tom and Duncan? America. If you are dumb and you can't understand, then you end up a secretary. But if you hustle, then you stand here like me. This one, someone will cry. I'm going to make sure somebody goes back home and resigns. So the total capacitance of the whole capacitor will be the part of the liquid plus the part of the air. And in which connection is this? Of course, if we are adding up these capacitors, then that means they are in what? Parallel. So what is the capacitance with water? The capacitance with water part. The things about the water with the liquid part. Sorry, we just call this one a liquid. Liquid whose level we are looking for. So the properties of the liquid, we have the electric constant epsilon R, and then we have the. So what is the capacitance of the cylinder? Which area? This is the cylindrical capacitor. We did a cylindrical capacitor even just a while ago when we solved the Laplace's equation. I mean, we got a potential problem, solved the potential problem using Laplace's equation. We ended up with a potential. And with the potential, we said we could get the electric field density. With electric field density, using the electric displacement vector, we said we could use the Gauss's law and end up having the charge. And since we have already put the potential, now we have the charge, we can find the capacitance, which is the Q over V. So what was the capacitance of a cylinder? Of what people, whichever you find it. This is 2 pi epsilon, but epsilon is epsilon r. Epsilon r. Then the L. L was the length of the cylinder, but now the length of the cylinder with the liquid part is the H. So we have the H, then over the natural law of the ratio of the bigger cylinder to the small cylinder. And then we add the one of air, The one of air is L minus H, that is the only different thing. So it becomes 2 pi epsilon naught. And then epsilon r, we're saying that the dielectric constant of air is approximately 1. Then we have L minus H. Then we divide by the natural log B over A. So we can just write it nicely as C total being the same as 2 pi epsilon naught over natural log B over N. And then in epsilon r minus 1 H plus N. So if you the length, the L here is a constant. So it's this H which will be changing the total capacitance. And then if you now calibrate the capacitance in or the voltage to be able to be measured or displayed, then you get a value being displayed. And you can translate that one into the fuel you are having in your fuel tank. So the sensor can be incorporated. The sensor can be incorporated. Those, how many of you use space? Yes.
Your application in field.
Yeah?
Your explanation about the application in field time. That's the last statement.
It's okay, let me first finish this element here. And then the sensor can be incorporated in the AC deflection, in the AC deflection bridge. The AC deflection bridge used in the differential, used in the previous, used in the differential deflection sensor. This is what I was saying, that we can now integrate this into the deflection bridge where we have two capacitors and then the resistors. Is this how it is? Or is it supposed to be this, then we put this one here. And then that means we would have the voltage across here. And this voltage here would be the one which will be helping us to have the pointer, like showing us how much we are having. So what I was saying, the statement I was saying, is that because we know C is equal to Q over V, we can correlate this C in V by deflection bridge, integrating it in the AC deflection bridge, and then this capacitance now be read as a voltage. The change in the capacitance be read as a voltage, which is displayed on the screen, on the display, on our 7-segment display. And then it tells us you have 2 liters, you have 5 liters. If it is analog, then it tells you, it shows you, the pointer shows you are now, it is full, then it is now almost 3/4, it is half, we are almost running empty, and then when it becomes empty, which is always 5-liter reserve, then it starts lighting and warning you that you are about, the orange light comes up, you are about to stay on the road. I normally see people parked on the side of the road and they are pouring some fuel. Are you a fool to move around when you don't have to? Which situation? It's not that I have money, but I rather not eat well, but make sure I do not just be in the middle of the road and then I'm sending someone to bring it. In my car, I have a car loan. When I go to the petrol station and they put the full tank, I write debt, the mileage, that one I failed because I can't keep reading it, but I put debt, the price of per liter, how many liters I've taken and how much I have paid, and where. So since when I bought my vehicle, I can tell you how much fuel I have drunk. With the exception of a few places, like you have accompanied somebody or whatever, and then you take fuel in haste. No, but always I write. Even if I take 20K, I write. But mostly I take full time. And then write. Same thing with the food. At the restaurant, I have mica file, so when I go there, breakfast, I sign. I deposit money. I go there, put like 200K, then I eat. I know when the cash sheet is done, it's like towards 200K. So I know what I have eaten since when I started working. Okay, so sorry about taking you into my fuel issues, but I'm just trying. This is how. So I want you to develop that bit of how can I improve things. For me, that's what preoccupies me. How do I improve life? I have notes in a typed book which is already bound, and someone bound it, or like the experiments. I have a manual. It has experiments. We have chosen a few of them. The librarian is not there always. They are saying bring ID. So I just read off the manual, scan the experiments. We have, at least Professor Samuel helped us. He printed them. I also went and printed the rest, wrote copies. Do we have any problems? They are well, if you are preparing for a practical, you use the digital part. When you come here to follow up as you connect. But here is my challenge. We started practicals late. I needed batteries for the robot. They kept telling me, we bought them. They have been supplied, but they are being audited. Up to now, we don't have batteries which are being audited. And the semester is what? Zenny. So if I was mean and fake and I say, no, I cannot use my money in departmental things or university things, would you have done robots? How does auditing become more important than you understanding you using what you're supposed to use? And then you tell me that these schools have materials to do projects and then be asked these stupid questions. Your sister. I don't have a sister. You are only boys. And it is an insult because we would have loved to have a sister and see how she looks like. So if I was in O level and you put this question, I would be already pissed off. That's theoretical. I don't have a sister. It's not practical. Any question about this? If there are no questions, so we are done with you could also look, I showed you, this one is not in the notes. The example, if you could integrate the lock, the door lock system. And then the first one I was talking about, you can see, you keep improving. I was thinking of having the other side being where the plates are, but now we can have plates in the lock itself. So when you turn and the thing goes to lock the other side, then the displacement from this other part of the plates takes place. And then you use that one now to cause the change. And then trigger the alarm system. If somebody opened it without you first disengaging the alarm system. If you make those locks and you keep them local, that there is no change, and you make an integrated buzzer system. Someone has not disengaged, makes noise, no more door. Then you will see that people will buy them like hot cake, and you become a rich man. Professor, you are welcome. The great has given you. So now we go to the resistive transducers. Had we talked about them? Okay, so we go to resistive transducers. So there are a couple of questions on this part. Just to make you comfortable, you write down the formula for capacitance of a parallel capacitor and explain the meaning of each symbol, identify the variables of the formula in that capacitance, identify the variables in that capacitance, what is a capacitive displacement transducer, use diagram to explain the types of capacitive displacement transducers. One is meant by differential or push-pull capacitive displacement transducer. Show how a differential capacitive displacement transducer can be linearized using an AC deflection bridge. The capacitive wave transducer already has this, you are given values to calculate. So we are done with that. So we can use resistance. This was for, we started with temperature for the radiation transducer. We just now worked on the capacitance. We can use resistance also in order to make it a sensor. And so we look at resistive transducers. And this is lecture 3 on web. So the resistance R of a material is related geometrically. This is, let's talk about resistance. The resistance R of a material is geometrically related geometrically to the resistivity law. Of the material. By the equation R is proportional to the length and inverse is proportional to the cross-sectional area. So with the proportionality constant being the resistivity, where the L is the length, and then the A is the area of cross-section. Or cross-sectional area. number of transducers, a large number of transducers operate by variation of length. Operate by the variation of length. Is it off or in? Which one? It sounds nice. Variation in or off? Variation in length. L. Area A. Or resistivity. Rho. So depending on how you are building your sensor, which of any of the three that makes you makes it easy for you to change it as you sense whatever stimulus is coming, so that you get a good response for finding out what is going on. So if you for example you are opening these sliding windows or doors, and then when it slides, that would change whatever would help you to change the length or the area or the resistivity, then it will be able to change the resistance. And once your sensor is depending on the resistance, like if you integrated your resistance in the AC deflection bridge, then that means that that part of the resistance will be changing in the deflection bridge, and then the voltage will be changing. And when that voltage changes, then you will be able to have your sensor work. And once your sensor works, that's all. You will be able to determine what is going on. You are very early. But it is understandable the rain has been, it came in a joking way. Because wherever I was, when you look around, you wouldn't expect that it would rain this much. You look up there is nothing. You can't believe there is moisture there, which is busy condensing to form clouds in a few minutes. So it is important that only one of the parameters become variable. If you can't say, I am going to have a stimulus that changes the area, changes the length, changes the resistivity. How will you make it? You know, how can you? It's like your mental health is determined by how you react to situations. So that's why they say that if you react to every barking dog, then you will never reach where you are going. You have ever heard of that thing? So like and I have come to appreciate it. Once you decide to say, I don't care what is going on, let me focus on what I'm doing, you have peace. People rumor about you, you don't give a damn. Whether your neighbors say hello or not, like for me, I don't care. Whether I have said hello or not, I don't care. He thinks, oh, we shall not bury you, I don't care, I will not be there. And think that when you die, they will not come to bury you. After all, I'm putting in mind, I told you, I told you, I think in electronics or in electrical magnetism, I am going to make a wheel. If I don't die in an accident, I will make a wheel that burn me up, take my ash to River Nile source. I want to go to Egypt. I don't want to use anyone's money. I want to go there by myself. I'll reach there. If you keep getting stuck in Ginger, in Dubai, I will reach. Whether after how many years, my ash will reach Egypt. And then I see who will be there, that we are going to bury you, we shall not bury you. This is nonsense. They like money. They are business people. They ban you for money. They don't have. They are not related to you. No, I watched. I had wandered it and I watched the story on MTV and it was cheap. It is not even 2 million. They said it is 1 point something. So I'm saving that one on my reserve account. Ban me up. I want to go to Egypt. And if you annoy me, I'll say keep it in your house. Keep the ash in your house. If you pour it, you'll have trouble. And it should not go beyond 24 hours. When I die in 24 hours, make sure I'm already burned. So the way you respond to the noise, the background noise, determines on how focused you are. If you are here, everyone says, do you know there is a match? Let's go to watch a match. You go. Because you don't want to be an enemy of anybody. Then they say, you know, today in one day there is a sales, they are having cheap phones. Then let's go. When will you do your own things? When I was doing my master, there was one old man who was also doing physics master. He was from Mount Everest is in which country? You don't know. What is the country? I know his capital city is Kathmandu, but I've forgotten the country. Kathmandu is the capital city of that country. He's Googling. Google, you tell me. So that guy, that old man, he would know when we were going to the campus. We used to stay like here, and the campus was like at in one day. So it was a slope down. The guy slopes down, you are there at the campus, you slice in your card, you go to the laboratory, you find him there in the computer lab. For him, when he's tired, he said, let's go back. So one time I asked him, when you were coming, you didn't call me to come together to do work at campus. Now when you are tired and you are going back, you are busy telling me we go back. And from that day, he knew that me, I'm no nonsense. When I want to go to campus, I just cook my food. After eating, I jump on a bike, I go to campus. Then you bump into him. When he's going back, let's go. No. You're not the one who brought me. So you have to make sure that you have a particular or one of these that you will choose. Not everything to affect your sense. Then your sensor will not be sensing anything. I'm just using that summary story to make you. So it is important. It is important that only one of the parameters, only one of the parameters be variable in the device or in the sensor so that it is sensitive. So that it is sensitive. There are people who are insensitive. You never know when they are annoyed. You never know when they are everything. They are like, okay, that's fine. You have one? That could be true. I've never seen her like perturbed. Who is that one? Are you sure? Okay, members, let's get to let's get to electronics and instrumentation. I'm trying to think that I shouldn't continue writing on the board. These things are well now. So I could now explain them so that we go up to the communication system.
Yes.
And probably when I come back, then we can
Right.
write. You already have notes. Why would I again be writing on the board? It helps me to have my notes on board written well and archived, but we are now trying to summarize so that when I come back, we don't know. Like now, officially we should have been on a strike. But so if the university continues being insensitive, not responding to any variable, and then maybe the staff again say, how can you say that a cleaner must have senior? I want a cleaner to have a degree. I would love to have a cleaner who has a degree so that when we buy an automated vacuum cleaner, they can run it properly. But at present, when they are already here, you can't say that you want an S4 to be a cleaner. Do they have to clean and sweep at a tangent so that things go to... do they have to know a tangent that when I was teaching in Chambogo, there was one particular cleaner. Some offices would even ignore their own cleaners and call her to clean. What was her name? Very hard working. Like she comes to the office, she cleans everything, no feelings, like not bothered about even what is around, just cleans everything. You find the way it was is the way it is. You know, this one who finds my lodestone, my magnetic stone with the iron filings and cleans it clean. That's where sometimes I have my dirt, but I know what is in the dirt, you know. Like my disorganization, I know this one, I wrote this one. Like now I have demonstrated with this stuff, and now it looks like scrap. Then someone gets it and dumps it in the dust bin and throws away. That's why I have some problems with some particular people who think that for them they have a liberty to clean and make things orderly for you. In my disorganization is how I know how my things are. And then someone wants, like you guys will face this problem. You have your textbook. You have folded things to know where a diagram is. Someone comes and straightens up all the papers, all of them, that the book was folded, now it is straight. How does that work? So the potentiometric displacement transducer uses a potentiometer. You have been using potentiometers here. So this transducer consists of cylindrical stator or stationary part of the motor with with either a wire wound track or a film conductive whatever. So I am not going to do much about that. It is in the notes. The strain gauge I explained to you is like the one of the Fred, like the one on the car, where that most of these strain gauges are for bounded type, where the gauge consists of the foil cut into grid structure by photo etching process. Photo etching process is you use a machine to kind of print the stuff on, and then mounted on the resin film base, and the film backing is then attached to the structure with a suitable adhesive. This gauge should be positioned so that its active axis is along the direction of the measured strain. So there is these are used in temperate region. temperate regions where there is snow. Even on it was was amazing that you didn't know that the car shield or the back one. Like today, a policewoman stopped me, asked for permit, I give, then say, your glass is broken. I said, yes, it is shattered, but they repaired it. So it has a crack. I said, so what? I can see. Then she just remained there like this, looking at me. She said, I know you are about to buy a new one, but now this one has a crack. Then I stopped talking and looked to the other side. I first told her, if I've explained to you, if you want to make a ticket, you go and make it, I go away. So I looked at her. She stood there and then just put, I had given her the permit that she was supposed to give it to me, just put it on the system. She said, your permit is here, you can go. If you want money, you tell me I want water. I'll give you some water. But if you want to squeeze me that I'll ticket, you ticket me to report the treasury, you never touch it. These things of giving policemen money and they go with their bellies giving their children bread from our money after money seeing you. Someone gets you and talks to you as if you have. Do I have money hanging there that I can? Do I want to have a car which looks fake with a broken glass when I have money to put a new one? So that I drive a sleek car. And am I the one who throws stones around in the road to hit my car? Some people are really unrealistic. Sorry to put you into my. So I would want to just talk about the inductive one. Then the inductive one is a bit interesting. Then the other one will be. So read the lecture, read more in lecture 3. I think you appreciate that I can sit down and scan these pages, partition them in the different sections. I'm going to scan the whole batch. But, I don't know whether I'll be able to do that before I go. And so that you have all the notes. And the people I have taught, if they are lucky that they become lecturers, they don't hustle. You just go to my notes and you also stand and give mother. Like a Christian magnetism. You just go and give my mother. I never make notes. Maybe I can tell you these are my notes of these notes are older than you. These are my notes of the campus. The date is 17 or 27 of October 2K 2000. These notes are in October. The date is not showing October, but these are, maybe I could get a better date somewhere, which is visible. This is on the 2nd of November. Still looking nice. So I still have my books available. I will write my notes nicely. This is how I used to write my notes. Now that let me tell you so, because you don't. This is how my notes look like. Headings in either bolded or in red. And then I bind my notes properly. I draw my diagrams nicely. The volume, I make sure I say this is volume 3. And then I have this is my, I don't know whether you are supposed to study this radio and TV broadcasting. These are nice diagrams. So I have never sat down that I'm collecting textbooks like this, that I'm making notes. For what? I paid fees to get material. Like government paid for me fees to get material, and I got material. Why should I be suffering now? So I invested in my future when I was a student. That's why when I look at you lounging around and I make comment, why are you lounging around? Today I found in second year, I think. I didn't say anything. They were like, you know how footballers are together trying to now pray for the second half. I don't know what they were up to. I just peeped there a bit and went, because they don't know me. I've not taught them. So, but that day I can't be there when I'm passing behind the gun. When I teach them, they also start dispersing when they see me, because they will know the consequences. But for now, so I don't know. It's not that I say these things to. I don't brag. Like, how would I be preparing all these notes to teach now? But I have everything. The only thing I do for electromagnetism, those were the notes that I had as a student. So all I did was to rewrite them for making sure when I scan them they look new. And also to verify a few parts where, as a student, sometimes you don't write the right thing. So this time I had a brief and Banda's book, and then now I can verify whether that example was exactly as it is. Use this time here to make sure that you come out with something. Shirat, the day that phone of yours will crash, when you have an exam tomorrow, is when you dance on me. You have nothing else. We had a student who used to also be carefree. He thought he would photocopy. All of us were nowhere. The next day was exam. He could not locate any of us. Because he was like, this one always write everything. I will photocopy towards the exam. I don't know whether we did it intentionally or we couldn't find him or he couldn't find us. It was a disaster for him. Now, the day when that phone of yours will crash or you have a server problem and whether it's down and you can't open any file to download them, then you are like, God, why is that? And the Lord says, yes, you spent a week without power. Remember? I now have a reference to, I have something to refer to. So, this was about now resistance. So how about the inductance? You have if you can have a coil, and when you have a coil, first of all, the simplest sensor is the transformer. You have your primary having an AC, that AC producing a changing field, and that changing field actually gives you a voltage in the secondary. It induces a current in the secondary coil, and the secondary coil gives you a voltage. Purely. So plugging a transformer in a power supply immediately gives you light, because already you have light showing. And there is no connection. There is no connection. There is no wire that connects the primary and the secondary. It's only the iron core which takes the magnetic field. So if you touch if it was this other transformer here, not the new ones, if you touch here and there, you are not affected. You can't say that when you touch on this wire here that will be electrocuted, no? Because there is no current flowing here. The JS is equal to 0 because of the laminates. So there is no eddy current even here to affect you. But then you are able to have something flowing in the secondary. Yes. You have VS when you are having this is your primary. Eventually, you'll be able to have something. So this is the simplest sensor using inductance, using the air due to these two coils here. So in this part of the lecture, we review the idea of magnetic circuit and show how to calculate the reluctance of the magnetic circuit, the variability of reluctance, displacement, transducer will be introduced, and then differential displacement transducer and the use of the deflection. The AC deflection bridge, helps in integrating your varying either resistance or inductance or capacitance in this circuit, so that eventually it affects the voltage, and that voltage becomes the display that gives you the value, and then you get what you want. So we have agreed you read all about the resistive transducers, and then then you will go ahead, and so there is an inductive sensing element, which is so let me now do this part. And what time do I have? We are ending at 6, at 7.
We have 28 minutes.
28 minutes.
Yes, sir. In exam, I'll also be saying 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. So, treat me well, so that I will treat you well. All of you, when what is?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is I think related to what we are studying and its application. Like if, for example, we are on the machine producing fuel filling machine, so like I think to relate how it maybe if it is the idea of using, maybe how it relates the volume, maybe we may find the system was set to let the volume of it is taking the fuel, like letting how to measure the volume, and then how it operates to display the diodes to show that this one, the diodes that make 50. Like for example, there are many diodes now make a 5 figure, then a 0, and the rating that one is how it is measuring the volume or the amount of fuel pumped. So like rating that I failed to relate to here.
Well, neither would I don't want to lie to you that, but when you Google, they will explain to you. Some time back, before YouTube and these other social media stuff came, there was a website called How Stuff Works. How Stuff Works. I think it is still there. You were online. Can you check whether on Google Chrome or whichever web browser you use, whether, since we have free internet, check whether it is still there. But they used to send, I used to subscribe to many websites so that they send me alerts, like new stuff, it's like a newsletter. So they will send you the new things, and it was one of them. And they could explain anything, how rocks work, so anything would be there. So when you go there and say how a fuel pump works, they will explain to you how a fuel pump works, how the pump, as the pump is rotating, as the pump, when fuel is passing the valve and that involve the pump, then it will turn, like the way the tire turns, and then that translates to the speed. The tire speed, when the speed of the wheels is the one now which is translated on the speedometer. And then you are able to know that I'm now moving at these many kilometers per hour, and then it gives you the kilometers per hour. But it is the rate of the tons the wheel is making, but then it is written or is displayed, or the pointer goes to, you are now at 80, you are now at 120, 140, and then the car starts shaking. So most of the things we see things being displayed, but if you were to get the thing rotate, the pump rotating, I'm explaining to you for this reading. If the pump had as the pump is pumping the fuel to go out, then if you for example say 1 ton, you are each ton for example is taking a milliliter, so that means if it turns 10 times you have 10 milliliters. If you turns 1,000 times you have 1,000 milliliters, so that is a liter. So the liter will show up on the other side, and then you have a leg which is showing as 1 liter. So if the guy squeezes it and has turned many, doesn't matter the speed. If it has turned many 2,000, that's 2 liters, and then it gets short there. Each liter is 2,000. I mean, it's 5,000 for example, and then 2 liters, that's 10,000. And then the 10,000 shows up. So it takes a lot of energy, but eventually, it's like how people sing, you know. And the people are in the choir and say, no, then they synchronize it, and there's no effort. So for you who is enjoying, you hear the bass coming, you hear the, how do I call the other ones? Tenor. Me, I did not want to sing. I did not do those things that I hear extracurricular. Gods were enough for me to do extracurricular activities. The gods were enough for me to do extracurricular activities. No, also that we are going to sing or what. Football, I don't remember. But I know how to play nice football. None of you can play for me. Okay, so I don't know. I'm still feeling like I can't say much on. So the part that would be interesting is having that armature and this other core, and then you are having the current on the other side, and then the transferred field would affect the armature and be able to give you the variation. As if you move the armature away, then you get it gets to know the displacement. So I want to just run through, and then you will be able to read whatever you can understand. When I come back, you'll be able to ask. The video is there when I'm teaching these things and writing on board. So you can go to YouTube and see how I talk to them. And then you say, here you said this, but it did not work. Like I didn't get it. So I just want to just talk about the communication system. And then you have the notes, the videos are there, so that you allow me also to remain with a fresh mind. So that when I add on the travel stress, then I will reach when I'm a bit fresh, isn't it? Yes. That's why I'm not spending sleepless nights marking your things. I don't want to be sleepy all the time. I also want to have some view of sceneries. I've traveled many times, but I think this time I want to enjoy. This time I want to enjoy. I've flown many times, but I don't know. I never used to bother, but this time I want to enjoy. I want to be like a tourist. Even when I reach there, if there is nothing important, I'll just sleep. Because I have failed to sleep. I mean, I've deprived myself of sleep for a long time. 4:30 the alarm goes, then I prepare to come. I'm here sometimes up to 10. Then sometimes I rarely sleep below midnight. So I will sleep. So if you write me a message and I don't reply immediately, you know I am enjoying. I've never even told my students that I'm going away those days. But you are a because I was nobody when I was young. I didn't use anyone's money, or it's not about my guardians or my parents. I chop. Even now, you don't hear me that my uncle is this big man, he explains to me. Have I ever said that? Everything I hustle. I revise, I read, I'm telling you, I've been scanning this. I've showed you my notes. Yes, my guardian and I would go there and they say, I need some money for paper. He would give me money for paper and I would use it. This is the paper. I never used it to take somebody out. I never used the money I asked for paper to take. I would go and say, I want to buy a ring of ruled paper to make notes. And I made notes. And those notes, I'm using them now. So when you see me struggling to remember some of the things, is because I have not bothered to revise too much, because I know these notes are good. They are verified. I wrote them, I read them, I passed. So they are verified. And then these ones are the same as these ones. The ones which are in the book which was made for distance. So the communication system is the interesting part, and practically is like a radio station up to the radio receiver, or a TV station up to the TV receiver, or the telephone caller and the telephone receiver. That's the basic sum of the communication system. All of them are communication, even if it is WhatsApp, the one who is typing to send. So you need a phone to type in. Your keyboard, even if it is on a smartphone, but it is a keyboard. So when you tap the key, you need a key to tap. And then the keyboard is a transducer. It's an input transducer which has to feel your pressure, your capacitive pressure, changes it into an electrical signal, writes what you have put on the screen, and then when you tap send, then it goes, now you know air, because you are on your phone like this. Then you say send, the WhatsApp message goes in air. The air is now the channel. So let me first draw the damn thing so that it comes out in your mind. So we have information source, your damn head. For information source. Now they say we should modernize the curriculum. Now if it was this teacher who said that thing, he would be saying, you are chatting with your cousin who is in Dubai or Cheo and you are on WhatsApp. So explain what happens. So you now have, you want to send the story, or if you are an influencer like one of you here whom I don't want to mention, they told me she is. And so you want to make your the message to be sent to people now. So you have the information. So you are the information source. So now you look for what you want to use to send it. So you have the input transducer. Which I asked you in the test. So from the input transducer, then you need to transmit your information. So you go to the transmitter. So the transmitter, in case of, let's stick on WhatsApp first. So I have got an idea, I have an article to write and send, so I have formulated properly. Then now I want to send it. So if I want to send it, that was my information. So I look for an input transducer. I open WhatsApp. When I open WhatsApp, I type it. After typing it, I need to have internet for transmission. So my phone is still a transmitter. The phone, this phone here is like is everything. Is everything. At the end of the day, it will still be now. When I'm receiving the other message, now it will be the output transducer. Now, once I transmit, then I need a channel, which will be, if it is Wi-Fi, it will now go to the vacuum, to free space, to be transmitted. If I was on a wired telephone, then the wiring will be the channel. If it is a TV, if it is a satellite TV, like nowadays the one we are using, the after digital migration, then it first goes to the satellite, the transponder, then it goes to the different TV sets. But before that, then we have the channel. So the channel is the medium where it is supposed to be going through. Now, it will go depending whether I am chatting with her now here, whether someone is in US. We already said that these waves move at the speed of light. So it doesn't matter. The moment I press enter, if you are in a group and I say enter, she will get, the one in the US will get, the one in Australia will get, the one in China will get, the one in here will also get, if he has a phone. And so in heaven, phones are not allowed. So don't say, why are you using heaven? In heaven, they don't allow phones. In hell, they are allowed. You can use it as long as it lasts. Before it burns up, you are allowed to do whatever you want. In heaven, more is not accepted. So after the channel, I could have drawn it nicely this way, but this is the space I have here. So we go to after going through the air, so we now go to the receiver. And the receiver is now still the phone. For example, we are on WhatsApp. So we'll be on the phone. And then we get the output transducer. So if it is an audio message, then the speaker will be able to. I am very mean. There are people now who think it is like an innovation. Then they just tap the microphone and say, hey, like the way you would be calling someone, hey, but there is an moves. Then he said, I don't send you my message, my voice. So I say, I'm not carrying. I write, but I can't send you my audio. Because people get these voice notes, and then when you have issues now, they say, this is how we agreed, he said all this. And this is his voice. Okay? So that's my meaningless. So this is the output transducer. So if it is WhatsApp, the screen of the phone would be able to be that. If it was a voice note, it would be the speaker. And then finally, you get the output signal, the output information. So if it is the audio, that was it. So you get the message. And the message, normally, we are affected by what we read, what we watch, what we listen to. It affects us. When you are ready and then some guy say, they are stealing our money, we are going to be poor, we should do money. Then you meet somebody who is annoyed, you say, hello, he just looks at you and these are the people who are eating our money. You know, me, I work with some unintended swag when I'm working. So sometimes I put in my cashoot and I'm working. And when you pass somebody, if you look there, you know, and notice, you see the guy looking at you. He doesn't know I eat chalk to earn the money. And the way I look sometimes is just natural. I didn't put any supplements. I just chop my hair, that's it. So it's not about the money. Yes.
I beg your pardon. Take other form of signals that we transmit through the chat.
When you text the information, if your information you have put it in form of a text, the other person will get your text. So that's one type of information. If you choose to make a voice note, the other person will hear your voice. Yeah.
I'm talking about the type of signals that you're transmitting and travel at the speed of light.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it is a video, a text message, or a message on WhatsApp. Eventually, the other juju is about this EM. And I don't know why you have switched off the knowledge I gave in. Or maybe you came late. Did you come late? In one of the course outline lectures, we did the curl of B and the curl, I think we used H, and the curl of E. Of course, the curl of E is equal to what for varying fields? If they are static, it is 0. But if they are varying, it means that you can keep producing them by electromagnetic induction, but they keep reducing because you are producing them, carrying. So that's why we have the minus carry by carry. And then this one of the curl of H, when you curl the magnetic fields, they strengthen. But that strengthening also brings about is related to the current, but also you add some correction. So when you do these equations, when you again curl, we say that you end up with the grad squared E minus epsilon naught mu naught, well, carry E by carry T equal to, and then the one of H also, E minus epsilon naught mu naught carry H by carry T equals to, and we compared this to the grad squared psi minus 1 over C squared carry squared psi carry T squared equals to, is it carry T squared? We're supposed to be having and we're supposed to have these ones also squared.
Yes.
This one here. Equal to 0. And when we compare these equations, then 1 over C squared will be equal to, and we say that C will be equal to the square, 1 over the square root of epsilon naught mu, and C was equal to, if you have the 1 over, this is 85 times 10 to the power negative 12 or picofarads per meter, and then times the 4 pi times 10 to the power negative 7 on joules per meter, and C ended up being the same as 3 times 10 to the power meters per. So electromagnetic waves move at the speed of. Now, this issue of having a text message, a WhatsApp message, because now WhatsApp has introduced voice notes. You just tap the, I don't know whether my WhatsApp has that option. Why are you laughing? My phone is full. Sometimes it just says no space. So then they keep saying update. Then they say if you don't update, it's expiring. Why? Why don't you leave me with an old version? So I haven't gotten an updated version, so I'm just trying to see, to get somebody where there is a photo. I haven't gotten the current version, but there is an advert which they sent a message in an advert form that share this one of share updates in real time with voice notes. They sent, WhatsApp sent that advert of the video notes, that now they have introduced voice notes, just tap, and then like the way for 60 seconds, for 1 minute. Say, I like you, you see even nowadays I'm missing you, my cheeks have shrunk. But how? These days, you see it is funny, these days it is hard to know whom you are talking to. They put a filter. You see somebody with a very thin face, like a doll, then when you meet the cheeks are like this. So these days I don't trust nobody online until when I see you physically. That's when I'm sure. Otherwise you chat with somebody who looks like an angel when you meet. It started with Photoshop. It started with Photoshop. Even people with pimples want to smoothen themselves. There is a way even they make the eyes shiny, the lips glittering. You meet somebody, the face is. So the coding is like how you get a phone and you are typing just the number you put and it knows where to go. That is beyond my understanding. So how what I type is changed into now the electromagnetic wave to move at the speed of light, how the video which I have recorded here just goes into air and runs quickly, I don't know, it's due to. And no one can fool me that they are going to explain that it is nothing, it is their attitude which was made modern. And then we try to explain it mathematically. How that compare with where did I get this? The classical equation. How do you confirm this classical equation? You understand? So this is the communication system. This is the communication system, and like I told you, me I want to modernize that thing of that cultural thing. The problem is these people who are cultural are very mean. They scare you. Like when you go, I've never gone to a Samo, but I see. I watch movies. When you reach the entrance, remove the shoes. Then the judges are already complaining. Why are you looking around? So you are scared. You know. But if it was made modern, you reach there, they issue with the QR code, you know, go and log in, and then you sit. And then you pay by the phone, you put the code and then you pay money. But then they say put on the basket that then you put, that's not enough, judges are not happy. So there is this one I told you about of mending the bonds. If it was modernized, like you put a transmitter, like a pager sort of. So you say at lunchtime it will beep. So when it beeps, get a comfortable place. And maybe you even make sure that you tell them to tie it around there. You understand? Tie it there every lunchtime. And then the guy ties it there, it pains him. Then you say, when it beeps again, you know that the session is what? Is over. So the other guy does his stuff, then Then when he or she is done, sends the message, it beeps, and then you are like, "Ah, my remote session is over." Then you now remove, you go and sleep. In a week you are healed. Then people will be buying these things as therapy. After all, these girls are buying these things. No. Why are you rushing to Nyash? They are now vibrating things they put on the waistline, and then they kind of, they say that it shakes these fats, and then you get the figure eight. I don't want to be accused that I'm throwing further on the board. So along the way, this is a rough estimate, but along the way different things happen. Once you have made this source information and you have used an input transducer, you may need, before you transmit, you may need to decode it. So if it was audio, you may now need to put it into a digital format. That's why we have analog TVs now not picking the analog signal. So you find that you need to have an analog a decoder to now get a satellite. The signals are there, but the Nyash TVs can't get a digital signal. So you need that decoder. So you take the antenna from the satellite to your decoder, then you get the banana cables to your Nyash TV, and then now it can see the signals. So there are times when you have a source, after input transducer, you can put a source encoder, then you get a channel encoder, then you digital modulate, you modulate the signal digitally, then you got the channel. And then when you reach the other side, you have a digital modulator, you get a channel decoder, you get a source decoder, and then you get an output transducer, and you get your information. So those are the few parts that you have to put in your communication system. So you meet the issues of when you are reading that part, you have the digital modulator, digital demodulator, then you talk of the of the signal fidelity. How do you improve the signal? How do you make it more stronger, to make it better controlled? And then how the models of the communication channel models. Then from there, then we will be able to go into issues of the mathematics of modulation and modulation. And that's when we shall be able to look at FM modulation, AM modulation, and then of course where there is modulation, then there is demodulation. And then we shall be done with the course. But for me, the most important thing was to excite you to understand instrumentation. The oscilloscope and the multimeter, these experiments are helping me to make you understand how you can. Now, all of you, whenever you are trying to look for a resistor, you are busy looking out for a multimeter. When you want to measure the voltage there, you know I can now just give the multimeter to the voltage, and I'm in the range of this, then you are able to measure. And then the robot experiment will teach you about the sensors and how you integrate them. The programming of the robot, maybe I could get one time a projector and then come here and show you the back end of the programs being used. You just, the things are already there. There is a icon for a motor. These are servo motors, the one for the neck tires. And then there is one for sensor, there is one for the other parts. Those are the only parts. The sensors, the motors, those are the two parts you have. Is there anything else? The other one is just the body, which is the CPU. The brick is the CPU. So you get a servo motor, you put it there. Then you say the motor should turn this at this speed, like for Explorer. And then then you say, this, when the sensor, if you put the touch sensor, when the touch sensor is activated, what happens? Stop. And then reverse these many centimeters. And then what happens? Ultrasonic sensor should turn for 180 degrees to look for where to turn. Then turn. And then move. Move until when you see an obstacle by the ultrasonic sensor, stop. And then look for where there is no obstacle. Then go. And once you are done, then you run. Once it runs those maneuvers, then you know you have made the robot, which is an Explorer. Line follower. If you see a difference between the lights, the dark one and the bright one, then you follow, move forward. If there is a bend, then keep looking for that and bend. Then you get what you want. With those few words, I would like to see you in November. Because I had not traveled since 2012, in the morning, yes. In the morning I said, let me go and see how the new airport behaves. So I drove there to check when the information desk to ask them. I wanted to know whether they may disturb me on yellow fever, because I still have an old yellow fever card. And then other things I won't tell you. So then I came back. Now that I have summarized the bits, I had wished that I could teach this course from the beginning to the end without interruption. But in Makerere, okay, in Uganda, in Africa actually, it is unpredictable. Somewhere there is a strike. Now this one is positive. Going away from me is positive because I had really spent some time. And like I'm saying, I want to use this occasion to enjoy myself. No, I'm not going to enjoy, but I just want to leave your suffering here. I want to just reach there, and if I don't reply your word, don't be annoyed. I just want to have freedom. Sleep. When I go, this time when I go to the lectures, or wherever we are not wait a lot. I'll just also sit and listen. Or record if I get the camera.
Going to Lucia, Kenya.
Okay, so we see each other on the 4th. On the 4th, thank you.
Safe travels.
Thank you. So maybe I will be able to get some small something for our party.
Yes.
So that when we meet for our course party, is it in December?
Yes.
We will be able to enjoy. Okay, have a good night.